So I was pretty proud of myself this year. I guess you say this one of the years that I was able to get some of the plants, and I want to share how I got some of the plants covered up and what I did to winterize in regards to the trees. So I got these blankets, and I had a couple of them last year, but I didn't have enough for, all the trees that I thought might, need it. But this tree right here, I think it is really a kind of a cold-hearted tree. But there's a couple trees that I think that really needed to be covered. Just is very cold sensitive. And this is one of them right here. So as you can see, just want to show what I did. I got these stakes and some saran wrap, like from Home Depot. And I've seen this on, I know I saw this somewhere in a video, probably a few years ago or something like that. Teaching about how you can protect your trees from real harsh cold. And this is a good way because at the top, there's an opening at the top, and I'm going to show you on this other tree. You see, you just kind of wrap around. This is the only one that does not have a blanket on it. But in the top, it's still getting air in here, and it just kind of acts like a greenhouse effect. But I mean, you can just essentially leave this on top, I guess into the winter. You don't have to keep taking it on and off. I mean, you can. Now it's kind of warmed up a little bit, but we did have some cold, which it kind of affected this. And then, but now it seems to have warmed up, but I'm sure, winter is not quite setting in yet. But we had some cold days. And this is what I did. So what did you do? How did you protect your plants? Or how are you going to protect your plants for any harsh cold that may take place for the winter? So good rising, family. I wanted to do this short video on this particular subject, and that is in regards to winterizing. Like a lot of people who were over in Texas, and that had they had a situation where their pipes were busting, and caused a lot of water to. I had to get out of there before, because the last time I went in here to try to turn this water off and on, there was a snake in there. So I just wanted to make sure there was no snake in there right then. But let me go ahead. What I'm doing right now is, over the winter, I basically shut this off because and ran the water out of all the pipes so that I wouldn't get any bursting of the pipes due to freezing. So right now I'm going to turn the water back on because it has been getting a little bit warm, and I just need to water some of my trees. So, but I wanted to show you, okay, what it was that I was doing with this. But yes, this basically is my sprinkler system that was installed. And so the water is being turned off here, but I'll show you in another section where or how we need to do as far as making sure on the inside of the home that the water is turned off as well, so that the pipes, if the pipes have a potential for freezing, then you wouldn't have, a lot of bursting of your pipes. And so let me go ahead on and get this turned on. And so when I turn mine on, it's kind of like horizontal with the pipes. You need to turn this water on and let it run, and then go and turn it off from up, wherever the lever is or the switch. And you have to do this. It's probably in a couple areas. Like for me, I have to do it in 2 areas that are connected to the home. The 3 actually, with the sprinkler system, as well as the 2 areas that with the home I have to do. So, and the purpose of turning the water on and letting it run first and then turn it off is to let all the water drain out of the pipes. That is the way, because if the water is still filled with, if the pipes are still filled up with water, perhaps maybe water still in there, it can still cause even though if you don't have heat, say if your power went out and you didn't have heat, then you would have to, your pipes can still burst. Okay. And the only 2 ways to keep your pipes from bursting is empty the water from the pipes, as well as excuse me, sorry about that. The only way to empty your pipes or to keep your pipes from bursting is to empty the water from out of the pipes. Empty the water out of the pipes. Another thing is, and that should take care of it. But if there's really, really bad freezing, and then your power somehow goes out, then that will be a problem, because then that way you have to make for sure that there's no water in the pipes. Because if your power goes out, then it's going to cause freezing inside and out. But generally, if the house is heated, you probably wouldn't have any problem with pipes bursting after you've done your winterizing by turning off your water on the outside and letting the pipes drain. All right, turn it off. So, yep. I started. Just in the process, I wanted to kind of reiterate on what actually happened with Klondike. Basically, Klondike, he basically had got a hold of some carpet, right? Got a hold of the carpet, and it was like for 3 days, he had swallowed this. He had swallowed all this carpet. I don't know, because he's kind of, like I said, he's old and he's not really, his real self, really. And he eats like everything, so like a little child. And so he got a hold of that, and for several days, basically, we worked on him ourselves, hydrating and everything, did a lot of things that we could do. And after that, we took him to the vet, and they sent him back home with us. Said, just they didn't see anything, but there was something in there. He kept bringing up more carpet. We pulled out of him, out of his, anus, and we pulled carpet, from his mouth and everywhere. And he was trying to throw it up, but he couldn't. And some was stuck in there. And then, the doctor said they had to do all this surgery. And end of the day, after we went to the vet for 3 times, and they actually kept him, hydrated him, gave him fluids and everything. And on top of how we working on him and they were working on him and everything. And so, we decided after all that, it was going to, it wasn't really even the cost, because we were going to give him some eye surgery and everything, But the fact is that he was his age, and the fact is that he was already, showing signs of, just, being debilitated, a lot of things. It was just, as a result of just, being of old age. And so we didn't want to take him through that, because I think about my other dog, who I had a dog before, my dog. I had a golden retriever over some 10 years ago. And, actually he got hit, broke his leg and everything. And after that, we paid a lot of money to get his surgery for him and everything, because he really wasn't even that old. But we paid a lot of money to get surgery, and after that, he still died. And so we decided, to go ahead and put him down, Klondike. And as I said before, Infinity, we lost her like about a month before he died. Or we had, and so, yeah, so she got lost a month before he died. And so, like, basically did have him put down, because, we didn't want him to suffer any longer, due to a lot of the ailments that we already know that he was having. and you know, whatever, it was some bowel issue. It was something with his bowels, because he puts a lot of things. He'll eat anything. He was just such a lovely dog, and Infinity as well. But she was like his companion, and so basically my daughter wanted to buy Klondike, but she came along with the package. It's so funny how it was. She really wasn't trying to get the other dog, but she came along with Klondike, and so that's how she got in there. But everybody, you know, always gravitated towards Klondike, and so this basically was my daughter's dogs, and they were my dogs too. I would have to say they'll be like my grandchildren. And so, but yeah, we kind of went through a little sad period in regards to the passing of Klondike. And so, but I just wanted to kind of explain, you know, really what actually happened. And, you know, because it was like 3 days sitting up all night and, you know, trying to see, you know, having to watch him for 3 days. And then after that, he didn't pass all of the carpet that he ate. And after he didn't pass all that, so then we decided, you know, we weren't going to do any surgery on him and put him through all that. And then perhaps maybe he still didn't make it, because he already did have a lot of issues, you know. But since he was such, you know how dogs are, they're so resilient. And even if they're having a problem, an issue, you probably would never know, because he was still getting around, even though he had some blindness and stuff going on. He was still getting around like, you know, like it was all good. And so that's why, you know, it's really taught me a lesson about, you know, love, and, you know, just being a friend, and, you know, somebody, you know, like they say a dog is like stick closer to you than even a brother or what have you. He was definitely one. And my daughter was telling me about how every time she would go sit somewhere, he would always sit facing her back. So she would be facing one way, he would be facing the other way. You know, basically he would always have her back. I mean, he was a really good dog like that. And he wasn't a big dog, but he would chase the big dogs because he just had this demeanor about him. And you know, I just picture, you know, him sitting where she was sitting outside, and, you know, and he would be facing the other way. So if anything came the other way and she was looking the other way, he was looking the other way. And that's how he would sit down with you. Okay, so I wanted to do a before video, like edging, something to edge off from the grass. And I want to that's good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I know you want to get some of that water. No, you just want to jump over. I'm not jumping over. I'm going back this way. All right, girl. Yeah, that's right, girl. Follow me.